Nerd Skool is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. Now offering video visits so you can take control of your orthopedic care from the comfort of your home. Schedule online at orthocarolina.com. Ortho Carolina, you improve.
Hey, fellows. It's the first snap of another season.
Nerds roll. Nerds roll.
Oh, my glasses are broken.
Surprise me. My pocket is protected.
Surprise me.
I'm a super nerd.
Surprise me.
Okay.
Excelsior.
I am a super nerd.
The Nerd Skool Podcast.
Starring Andy.
I am a former entertainment journalist.
The Star Spangled Band with a plan.
TBJ.
Welcome, congratulations. You did dirt. Ta-da! I got no shame. I am what I like to call a surprise nerd.
Art Star.
I am not an incel.
Dark Star.
He's the nerd Gotham City deserves.
And yours truly, call me Joe.
Joe Verse.
Welcome to episode 3 of Falcon and Winter Soldier with the Nerd Skool gang.
Yes, that's TBJ, everybody. Hey, okay, before we jump into this episode, let me get to the couple things that I left off a last episode that I wanted to ask you guys about.
right.
The first thing was White Wolf.
Yeah. White Wolf is what they, when Bucky was recovering in Wakanda, after, he went into the ice after Civil War because he thought he was still a danger until they could get the Hydra shit out of his head so he couldn't be programmed by people. And then at the end of Black Panther, there was a teaser after the credits where it showed Bucky was just hanging out in the tent. He didn't even have an arm on. His fake arm was gone. He was chilling out, relaxing, shooting some b-ball outside of the pool.
Outside of the school and a couple of guys
started making trouble in his neighborhood. Like that was Thanos and the invasion. And I believe it was. Like they handed him the arm and his new vibranium arm instead of the old Russian metal arm. And he said, "Where's the fight?"
Shuri. Yep.
No, wait. That happened in Infinity War. Well, at first, at the end of the post-credit scene, you just kind of see him there, and like the kids are calling him the White Wolf.
Shuri.
And
yeah, she's the girl. She's the one who's an expert, like a computer. She's like the tech expert.
Yeah,
Shuri. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
She's supposed to be smarter than Tony
so Bucky's hanging out in Wakanda, and they call him the White Wolf. Although the White Wolf in comics is a completely different character.
Oh, that's not that. So I googled that White Wolf thing, and I thought, and I saw a character that looked kind of like Black Panther, but in white. That's not Bucky.
No, that's not that's Bucky. No, this is the White Wolf in comics, which I guess they're probably not going to do because they gave his name to Bucky.
But it's basically just Marvel doing what Marvel does, like giving us these weird names. Like we get this in this episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But go on, Andy.
They might want to say.
I think I know what that's going to be too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they want to give him a name that isn't the Winter Soldier. I guess maybe they'll go by the White Wolf once this goes on. But the White Wolf in comics was actually an adopted half brother or an adopted brother of T'Challa's, like an older brother, and he was there was a plane crash or something, and he was the child survivor, and T'Chaka took him in. And he was a white guy, but he was embraced by Wakanda, so he became this super huge Wakandan patriot to the point where he actually ran the Dogs of War, which are mentioned in Black Panther. As they all dressed as white Panthers, basically in white suits that looked like the Black Panther. And it was like a secret police he ran though, and it became this big thing where T'Challa wasn't aware of that. And he was like the dirty side of Wakanda, like keeping Wakandan threats away, but in like ruthlessly vicious ways. And once T'Challa found out about that, he had to reckon. Basically, it was a big storyline where T'Challa had to decide how he was going to govern and whether or not he was going to allow his adopted brother to do all this shit, or to put a stop to it. And he tried to put a stop to it, and then he became kind of this outlaw villain sort of type for him. But I don't think that storyline's coming, so
shit.
No worries.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is just that it's not Bucky. Like I assumed it was Bucky
No.
became White Wolf, and that was just something I didn't
That
know. So
said,
that's cool that Marvel's doing a different thing.
That said, there's no. I mean, if he's that close to Wakanda, maybe he might put on that outfit at some point and just have a new identity.
Well,
Right. We'll see.
it was neat because when I Googled it, there was a bunch of pictures that must have been from the comics that it showed like Black Panther and White Wolf like with their backs back to back fighting people.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, it was like an on again, off again alliance / enmity, because all the guy's name was Hunter, and we never got another name besides Hunter. And all he wanted was to be accepted by Wakanda again, and T'Challa wouldn't do it because of his methods and basically the war crimes he did.
And then so the other little bit that I forgot to mention was that little scene when Falcon, those kids come up to him and they're like, "Hey, my daddy says you're Black Falcon," and he's like, "Why am I Black Falcon?" And that whole thing is, "Are you Black Kid?" Like that whole bit, and that was kind of a funny bit. But my question there was, and I think you might have answered this either offline or somewhere in there, but so he wasn't in the comics. He was never called Black Falcon, or was he?
No, I don't think so.
Was he always just Falcon? So I assumed that was a callback to something.
I was
going to
say, Joe, I think this is just we talked about earlier about some things that are going to be brought up in this series about a Black man being a hero, and I think that is also, let's be real, when you have a superhero and you're Black, you're going to be like, that's the Black so and so. So
yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it and establishing a lot of the conversations around race and identity. So for his community, he is the Black Falcon, even though he would say, I'm just Falcon. But to Black kids and Black families who aren't used to superheroes, they're going to add that Black in front because it's just a thing.
And
of
also,
pride.
so many characters initially, like when Black characters first started being introduced, they were called Black whatever.
Yeah.
There was, Black Panther, but that makes a different amount of sense. But there was always like there's Black Lightning, Black Goliath, Bill Foster, who was Lawrence Fishburne in the Ant-Man movies. He was a hero for a while. He could grow real big, but and there's several names like that. But like on Super Friends, I think Black Lightning was called Black Vulcan for some reason. But yeah, that was like a
because we weren't creative. By we, I mean
because like that. Yeah, it was. Oh, this is.
Yeah,
we have to acknowledge that in their name, but
right.
Because they didn't know all that much better. But at the same time, it can be used as a point of pride, like you said. Like
okay, well that's cool. That's a cool little bit. And it was kind of it was cute. Like I liked the little kids being in there. Like that was kind of a funny little exchange. And so that's it. Let's jump into this one. And I think the other thing I kind of forgot to mention is just how funny so much of it was, and this one too. Like the banter between Falcon Winter Soldier is funny. They got that funny buddy cop type of banter that's kind of funny. Them yelling at each other and like screwing with each other. Like it's. I love that bit. I love that part of it. Kind of like I guess they do in all the Marvel movies. Like I rewatching the Avengers recently with Iron Man and Hulk and the little like when we'll get into this with Avengers, but when like Tony Stark like pokes at
Loki,
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, Mark Ruffalo.
No, when he pokes him like while they're working in the lab, and he just like pokes him to see him get mad, kind of thing, like stuff like that. Like I love the whole funny bits of it. But anyway, so let's jump into this episode. What do you guys want to? You guys want to just give an overview of the crazy cool stuff?
No, let's jump. I think we can jump in with your questions.
Okay.
I mean, because I think we're going live. People are watching it.
Yeah, they are. Right.
Unlike the movies, it just happened Friday. So
gotcha.
I don't think we don't have to give them a review.
Yeah, we don't have to recap a review. So my first question right away was, this was a cool episode. Like I loved the going to Madripoor and all this. And so one of the things I looked up that I couldn't wait for that I accidentally stumbled upon was that Madripoor is not a real place. But it's
you went away again, Joe.
One of the things Joe couldn't wait for was to ghost us all.
Am I frozen? Am I gone?
All right, there you are.
Am I frozen?
There you are.
Now you're back.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. The thing I couldn't wait for that I looked up already was this Selby. Like, who the hell is Selby? is that a character? And then I stumbled into the fact that Madripoor is not a real country, but it's a Marvel Universe country.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it was created in 1985 in New Mutants by Chris Claremont, one of the legendary X-Men writers. And
he's also in Bucky's book.
He's also what?
He's in Bucky's book. Bucky/Steve's book.
Oh, really?
Because Chris Claremont, his name is one of the names in the book.
That's fun. But which makes it interesting
really
is
magnifying glassing things.
Madripoor is. There are a couple of significant fake evil countries like Madripoor is like where lowlifes and mercenaries and stuff hang out. But that was generally like an X-Men kind of thing. Like Wolverine, if we could see any Easter eggs in the background of some dude in an eye patch, could be Wolverine as Patch. Well,
there's the Princess Bar, which was partly owned by Wolverine. So we do see like Princess Bar, like Jose Selby, even though he's a she in this. It's like Selby is a mutant. So like it's one of those things where like Marvel put I don't want to say, I'm going to call her Doctor, because she played the Doctor in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she was a part of the program that brought back Coulson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's Marvel
that actress was?
Yeah.
Played Selby?
She played Dr. Goodman on Agents of a different character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I see.
So
that's kind of in the MCU, so that's kind of screwy.
Nah, because once you get to Avengers, like Coulson, in Avengers, Coulson dies. Spoiler!
Yeah, right. I just saw that.
But then,
I just watched that. Yeah.
In the show, Project Tahiti is the thing that goes through, which quote unquote brings him back, and then we end up towards it and find out he's like a life model decoy, blah blah blah. Anyway, but so it's a lot of little bit of mutant stuff going on in this episode, just because they're in Magic.
But also there's a Zemo plot line in the comics that involves a similar kind of country, except it's named Bagalia. And I think they thought Madripoor probably just sounded better, but it's the same kind of thing where like there's lawlessness sort of reigns and like supervillains are allowed to.
But that's a Captain America issue where is it Captain America? Or like Hydra has also been a part of Madripoor at some point, right? That ties it into that, but then it's still, like I said, still just that whole, you see the Princess Bar, and then like just knowing that the X-Men and them have been instrumental in Madripoor, and like it's one of those things where they're laying groundwork for whenever they decide to give us the mutants. Like, let's go back here and
it'll give them some immediate cachet if they go back to a place that's already been established and that kind of stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So we all know, right? I mean, we all know the X-Men are someday going to be in this MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's inevitable or not?
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
It is? Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of cool. That's what I read. It was like Selby is this mutant and somebody else, but this character's not that, right? It's just the same name, coincidence type of thing.
I don't think it's a coincidence, but it's the same name.
Like
it's a casting choice.
They picked it for nerds, kind of. Yeah.
Well, no, it's probably like the whole Carly Carl thing. So it's
Okay. Oh, so it is supposed to be that same character then?
We don't know that yet, Jeff.
She's a mutant.
We don't know. Okay. We are guessing it's a take on them.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not likely that they gave us that tidbit for.
But then again, they also killed her off in this episode, so that's not really going to go anywhere.
True.
But then Selby is also not really a major mutant, though. It's like it's a mutant. He's a mutant, but he's not like there are a lot of people like Selby. Who the fuck is Selby?
I'm one of them. I have no idea who this guy was, and I forgot to look him up.
But I think it's a breadcrumb.
Mm-hmm,
No, Selby can't go anywhere. But I was thinking about Carly. Carly that'll flush out at some point. It's starting to flush out, but I don't think. Again, we've established that Marvel doesn't do things by accident. Mm-hmm. They have a well-plotted plan, and even though we may not know the plan at this moment, at some point later, we're going to watch something and go, okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing
they don't do this by accident. There's got to be I want to win a prize to go into the Marvel plot room where they're like pinning things together. Like, someone, please find me a way to access this room. I won't tell the secrets. I just want to see it because it has to be so intricate.
Yeah.
Because they pay such attention. So I don't think it's an accident.
I'm just
That's the name.
I'm picturing a writer's room where somebody's like, okay, we need an intermediary character. Give it a name. Let's give it a mutant name. Everybody, give me an unknown mutant, the lowest known there is. Just give me a name. And somebody's like, how about Selby? Yeah, Selby.
I think they have, like, you ever see those crime boards where they're like drawing the red string to the thing? Joe, I think it's more than that. Like, you keep forgetting Marvel is a machine. I don't think they are like throwing it out by accident, but I imagine there's like a little pin and a red string, and it goes all the way across.
And they probably have some sort of quotation or some sort of like formula, Marvel Dradic equation or something.
Right? They got a whole scientific method we don't even know about.
Yes. -B plus the square root of the
one Captain Marvel plus one Winter Soldier equals
times
Sharon Carter or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so that's perfect. So that's when my next thing was about Sharon Carter. This is Agent Carter's, we talked about this at some point. It's Agent Carter's granddaughter or something?
Grandniece, I think. Or just niece.
Grandniece.
She called her Aunt Peggy. So, but she kept it a secret from Cap and when they met until after Peggy had actually died. But
and she's a badass.
Yeah, this is the
everybody's ass.
She was like a pretty stalwart and independent so far, but this is the most we've got to see of her and like her actual personality. And I was a little jarred, but then apparently I did some reading. It's like, oh, I guess she's always been kind of cynical. Which is kind of like she had a long-standing relationship with Captain America, with Steve Rogers, and it was, I guess it was a nice balance that she was cynical and he was idealistic, so they kind of worked together. Yeah. But she's just so done with everything, and I was not really expecting that out of her, which was very interesting. When she's also, it was like. Okay, I'm on board with her journey. I don't know where she's been.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, holy crap. I mean, it's been a rough, 5+ years for her, I guess. Like, she went through the blip. She's been a criminal, a wanted criminal since Civil War. Since she just stole that shield, gave it to Cap, and then we haven't seen her since. And she's been through a lot.
And she's obviously somebody big here because the way that chick was just waiting for her to pick up in the shipyard was like...
Yeah. It's a Hightown and Lowtown. If she has a place in Hightown, she's been there for a while. She's living the life of the hustler. And but apparently she still wants to be cleared so she can get the hell out of Dodge. So there might be still something left. But she's very much not into the stars and stripes bullshit. Or at least she's got a layer of barnacles around her soul about that. Because she might be upset that...
So just saying, I could probably lure her over to the set.
She's Sith Lord in you right now.
I'm about to say she's there.
Did you see those fight scenes? Like how many of those merc bastards she knocked out by herself, just smacking those fuckers around. Give her a lightsaber, and she's
awesome.
She's out Sithing you.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
I love the layer.
Try and win her back to the good side.
Layer of barnacles around her soul.
Yeah.
That's the name of this episode. Just the things you just spout, Andy, like it's common language, like insane. Anyway,
I'm an uncommon gentleman.
Yeah.
Andy's lexicon.
So we don't know who that person, when she leaves and that person comes and picks her up, she's like, we got trouble. Like, that's not a character we already know who that is?
Not offhand, but,
yeah.
I don't think we've gotten the name yet, so.
Well, I was hoping maybe a Cagney and Lacey spinoff, like a redo of Cagney and Lacey, and maybe that's who they end up being.
Could be, or they could,
we'll see.
Be something else.
It could also, she just could be also a bad bitch, and this just could be her servant. We don't know.
Yeah, I made my wife and daughter come and watch the badassery of Sharon Carter kicking everybody's ass, and they were like, "Oh yes, Queen!"
good.
They were both into it.
Yeah, a lot of Twitter
And then
was
my
the same
next-
way.
Yeah, it was badass, and she looks like it's like Elijah Schlesinger kicking everybody's ass. The elder millennial, you know that comedian?
Yeah.
That's who she looks like to me.
She was created in 1966 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Okay, Dr. Nagel, is that from comics?
Yes.
I forgot to look him up, but probably.
He
Art says yes.
Dang it. I had this in my head yesterday and I totally forgot it.
Oh, he's probably related to Bucky.
Yeah, but he helped. Well, I guess he talked about it in the show, but like he came after Erskine, so he's there. And I had this. I literally had it prepped. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome when I bring this up," and like, it's gone. It's gone.
And then you
Like,
forgot.
and the funny
Definitely
thing
not
about
awesome.
it is, had you not mentioned his name, Joe, I probably wouldn't have said anything about him through this whole episode because, like, it just Kaputski. I guess I should have written
Anyway,
it down.
he's just the guy that was making the serum, and so I assumed he was somebody in the comics.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, the page on him now. He was actually he had a different name. I think I mentioned him when we were talking about Captain America. Like there was this, he had a fake name of Reinstein. He was actually working with Erskine,
I remember.
and he was the guy who created Isaiah Bradley. He was the shitty guy who did all those like the testing to.
Yeah, he talked about
Yeah.
it in the episode. He just didn't call Isaiah by his name. But then Falcon later says it was Isaiah.
Yeah, and this is like he recruited 300 African American soldiers who were used as test subjects, and Isaiah Bradley was the only survivor. So that's the guy's a piece of shit in comics.
Oh, so he's the guy. He's the guy doing all the testing.
Yeah, he's the guy who recreated the super soldier serum and spread it out to the Flag Smashers, and which is why Zemo shot his ass to make sure.
But he's not the power broker.
No.
No.
Okay,
He says the power broker found him.
Yeah,
He says
that's
it in
right,
the
right.
episode.
And we didn't get the power
The
broker.
power broker is still alive.
Yeah, we didn't get the power broker in this,
Not
right?
yet.
We never saw the power broker.
But we did see on the wall the full
On the
power
wall,
broker.
yeah.
Power broker is watching message that kind of shows up
saw
at
that.
the end. Yeah,
I saw that and I
yeah.
thought of you, Art Star. I was like, Art Star's gonna be so proud that I saw that on the wall. Now, mind you, I saw that my second time through. I
But
saw that.
I think power broker is someone we already know. Can I put that
There's a
out
good
there?
chance.
Ooh.
I was talking to my son after the episode. I was like, it's someone we already know. Like, it's someone we know. I also like went through and scanned all the actors, and there's no one named the power broker. So I was like, that solidifies it's already somebody who is a character that we know.
And here's the thing I just thought of. On one hand, Zemo's made a lot of noise about not wanting superheroes to exist. So, what better way would there be for that to happen than to be able to give everybody superpowers?
I thought about that too during the episode because I was like, when he shoots him, I looked at my son and I said, okay, we can assume he's shooting him because he doesn't want any more superhumans, or we can assume that this dude knows something that we don't know about Zemo.
To shut him up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he was looking for that gun for a while.
Exactly. In the lab. You been to this lab before, Zemo? What you know? What do you know?
Yeah, so
Wait a minute.
and Zemo is most notable for recruiting, like, or at least his father, Heinrich Zemo, was, which is this guy seems to be a little bit of a blend of the two, creating the Masters of Evil as a supergroup that counters the Avengers, that goes against them all the time, like a team of supervillains, like the Legion of Doom in DC, except they're the Masters of Evil. So I would think eventually, even if it's not in this series, if it's overarching in Phase 4, Zemo's going to bring some supervillains together and make his own team.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing.
And then maybe that's what brings the Young
Wasn't-
Avengers out. Like, oh shit, these guys are here. The Young Avengers would go fight them.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he's definitely up to something.
Magneto's whole MO to make everybody a mutant?
No, he wanted to give mutants powers, or like he wanted to have mutants control.
He wanted them to be.
But there is somebody who wanted to turn everybody into mutants.
Is it Sinister?
Sinister was more the mad scientist. He was obsessed with the Phoenix, and Jean Grey, and I think he's gone insane since then. But there was somebody who, and I don't think it was Zemo. I'm drawing a blank on whoever it was who wanted to give everybody powers to make superheroes not special. But there was a storyline called Earth X where that kind of happened, and so like Spider-Man retired and got fat, and because superheroes weren't as necessary anymore because everybody had powers. So,
Well, anyway, it's interesting, and I like that. We'll put on record that TBJ's predicting that
we know the power broker. Yeah. We already know them. Yes, put that out there.
Yes.
And I have to remember the Kingdom Come storyline in DC. That there might have been something similar where a bunch of people got powers, so Superman said, "All right, I'm done." But I might be misremembering all that. Anyway, go ahead.
And my last question on this episode is about the very end reveal, the gal from
Ayo.
Black Panther.
Ayo. Or Ayo. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Ayo. Ayo? Is that how you say it? Ayo?
I'm not sure, actually.
Now, so I realize now how long it's been since I watched Black Panther that I don't remember. I remember her, but I don't remember, like, anything in her storyline. Was she a love interest of somebody, or was she the queen, or I can't remember any.
All right, Ayo first showed up.
You have to.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I was just going to remind Joe in Black Panther that the women were very powerful, and not because of their attachments to their men.
Yeah, I knew.
Just my quick reminder that women don't need to be attached to anybody.
She's like the second in command of the Dora Milaje.
Yeah,
I knew. That's all. Yeah, I knew as I was saying that it was sounding like that, and I didn't mean it for that.
I'm just doing my job as the woman here to remind
you.
Yeah,
I didn't mean it to sound like that, but I know I know Black Panther had a love interest.
That was Nakia. Lupita Nyong'o.
And see, I don't. That's why I got to go back and see all.
But Ayo,
because I don't remember any of it.
Ayo first showed up in Civil War with Black Panther, and she had just one line, but it was pretty badass because Black Widow was trying to see T'Challa, and she walks out first because he's blocking. She's blocking the way to his car, and she just walks up to her and says, "Move, or you will be moved." And I was like, what a way to make an impact with one line. Was just that.
What movie was that?
That was Civil War.
Civil War.
Oh, okay. So
and then she kind of towered over Natasha too.
Yeah.
That just made it even more powerful.
Right. And then she was also in Black Panther as one of the Dora Milaje or Dora Milaje. It's pronounced both ways, so I don't know how to deal with that. But
so here's my question about her showing up. Was this a surprise?
Yeah.
Or did nerds already know she was going to be in this?
Well, Bucky didn't seem surprised, but it makes sense because Zemo is the guy who killed T'Chaka, even if it was by collateral damage. It wasn't his intention, and so if Zemo is free, Wakanda is aware of it, and it also means is there something in Bucky's arm that allows Wakanda to track them, or do they need? Or do they need?
Oh, yeah, because they built his arm. Yeah.
But they're also a technologically advanced nation, too.
Yeah, they might not need him.
They're probably already...
And they got spies everywhere. They got the Dogs of War, which were mentioned in Black Panther as operatives in everywhere, which Killmonger was going to activate to turn them into actual war dogs. The Hatutzaratse was the name of them in the comics. I don't think I've ever said that. But it translates to Dogs of War. In a house.
Speaking of tracking, is it weird that Foe Captain and Battlestar seem to know every move that everyone makes, almost as if they simultaneously are in more than one place at the same time? Like how they knew that they knew like pretty much where Carly was. They know what they almost didn't. I guess they already found out that somehow they were tracking Falcon and Winter Soldier. But like every time you see them, that's like for instance, like how they showed up at that safe house and knew that Carly had been there, kind of thing.
And she'd been there, but they thought she was there. And that's an interesting scene because I mean I think they're a step behind, and like at the last we see them, they say let's try to follow the people who have a better hand, and that's Sam and Bucky. So like they're aware that Sam and Bucky are probably better at what they're doing than they are, but they don't want that to be the case. And also I like the fact that he tried to bully the guy into talking, and he's like, I know who you are. I don't care who you are.
He lost it.
I love that scene. First of all, I love when any person gets so indignant. They're like, "Do you know who I am?" I hate that line.
Yeah.
But I love this scene because the guy was like, "I do, and I don't care," because that is my mood.
What's funny to me?
There's a quote that I need on my epitaph. Is this.
He didn't even sound he didn't sound threatening. Like if that would have been me before I even sit there and say I don't care, I probably would have laughed at him because like just him snapping came off like spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like,
what that means is he doesn't have the respect that Steve Rogers has because he doesn't have the power Steve Rogers has. Mm-hmm. So that's why he's going to go to the power broker and get something. He's going to try to get his own super soldier serum, and it's going to probably it amplifies whatever's inside of you.
Right.
And so it's going to turn him into a bigger bully, and whether or not he's going to be able to pull himself back or be a guy they have to take down will be interesting. At least that's my prediction.
So, does this open the door for like more Wakanda to be in this or not? Or do you think just her?
There could always be more Wakanda to be in this, but it's very interesting because we don't know what's happened to Wakanda since the blip.
Right.
The last we saw of it.
Oh, so that hasn't been in anything.
I don't think they're going to dive that deep. I think thinking back to WandaVision, remembering the story was about Wanda and Vision. I think this has still a lot to do with Bucky and Falcon and them breaking through whatever they break through. I think we're going to remain focused. But y'all are skipping something that is just I don't want to say had me shook, but I was like, that switch where Carly goes from doing good to do good in a roundabout bad way to straight up murdering people.
Oh yeah, blowing up that stuff. Yeah, that was badass.
She flipped a switch there. Even her counterpart was like, well, damn. Like, he was like, but wait, because they've been doing this for good all this time. Like for the camps.
Yep.
Medicine and weapons for cures, saving people.
Right.
And she flipped it from I'm just going to fight you to I'm just murdering a bunch of people. And not all the people were bad people.
Well, she has grief now, so that probably awakened it.
But that scene, yes, it did. I was like, maybe he was right, and she should have took that time to grieve. Because he says to her before they go in, like, we can not do this today, and you can like grieve. And she was like, nope. On it. Then she has that sweet moment where she's like, I want to be a school teacher somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you almost like, I can see why you almost feel for her. You're almost like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But then when she is like, everybody dies. And you're like, well, damn.
Well,
I don't know if I have empathy anymore. I don't know where that went.
That's like the best villains are the ones you see their point. And you understand why they do what they do, and you're almost on their side, but they're doing dirty shit that you can't get behind. That's Magneto. That's Killmonger.
What was that? That line was, "This is the only language they understand."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Language of violence, whatever. So yeah, I totally forgot about that bit. Yeah, it was. That's pretty badass.
It was a whoa moment for me. It was a whoa moment for her partner there. Shoot.
Which makes you wonder how much his loyalty is going to stick around the more he sees.
Right.
Yeah,
he might not signed up for the murder part.
And I should probably look into
just like you said, it makes it a more believable villain to have layers rather than just being a Skeletor type that just wants to rule the world. It's like they have layers and they're people and they think they're good.
But we're not even sure he's
They are good.
Other than the fact that her, killing someone this episode, we're not necessarily sure she's actually the villain, though. That's the thing. So.
Well,
she may not turn out to be the big villain, but when she just killed everybody in the building, I'm going to say that qualifies her.
Does that make her a villain, though? That just makes her,
Art, she didn't just kill, like, a person attacking her. Like, she like, this is not even defensible, Art Star. This is like, if she was in a battle and, like, killed an officer in the battle, okay, I'm going to let you slide. You literally, like, closed the door and bombed the crap out of people and didn't care. Like, she didn't even blink. She didn't care. When he looked at her like, what? That she done turned villain. Okay. I know you're not likely to call her a villain because that's where you roll.
Wow.
But a switch has been flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Flag Smasher. He's got points.
Yep.
He has valid concerns.
Yeah.
Or she does, but in the comic it was a dude. But he couldn't let go of terrorist methods to try to get his point across.
Yeah.
So there's something
that's the crazy part for me.
off. There's some kind of rage thing that's
I mean, again, Art, who sympathizes with villains. I can understand and empathize with what got you there, but I cannot support your methods that are horrible. So while I get Kylo's trauma, while I get the lies that were told to Darth Vader, like, I get it, but then you turned around and turned into a whole ass villain, and I can't get that. So it's the same. She went from, I'm saving people, I'm doing this for good. And in her head, she's still doing it for good. Like, I'm not going to discount that. But her method has drastically changed where violence took the lead.
Maybe in her mind, she views this as war. And you know what they say about war?
I think she does.
All is fair in love and war.
Yeah, I don't know who started that saying.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
A lot of villains are the heroes in their own story.
Well, that's it.
Right?
That's just it.
Let them tell
Well, they
it.
say you always live long enough to become the villain, right? So
Yeah.
Never I.
one day.
Never.
You never know. You never say never. One day.
No, I know myself.
One day something will happen, and you can have a Carly moment.
Now, vengeance is different than villainy.
Is it?
Let's be real.
Is it?
Vengeance is different than villainy.
Is it?
And if I were to do something, it would, again, be
So-
in response to probably if someone harmed my kids, but it wouldn't be collateral. I would not take anybody down in collateral damage. I'm going straight for a particular target.
But what if that target has family and friends? Are you not?
If you harmed my children, I am coming for you.
I understand that, but that's still a little bit of villainy in you.
No, it's vengeance. There's a difference, damn it. There is a difference.
I'm going to simplify it. They both start with the letter V.
Okay, still a difference. Okay. A bird and a bull are two different animals. They both start with a V. They both do two different things. Okay. It doesn't count.
They both can still hurt you.
Whatever.
And
birds are less likely to harm you unless they are predators. But my point is, Carly, flip the switch, and I'm interested to see how that thing wraps up.
Is the difference between bird shit and bullshit. And we got both of them on this episode.
All right. That almost works.
I don't know. Is that a saying? Like, you get bird shit in your hair. It's kind of annoying, but bullshit is all bullshit.
All right. Where's the bird shit on this episode?
I think you need to end on that.
I don't know.
Close out the episode. I think you need to put there's a difference between bird shit and bullshit. And we got both.
We got a lot of both. I don't know. Maybe there's just mostly bullshit in this one. I don't know.
Well, sure.
No.
That's every episode, though, right? Okay. Well, that's good. So we got to get out of here because TBJ's got to go to work. And is there anything else?
Got work to do.
Yeah.
I got a job, baby.
She works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey.
I will.
Oh, wait. Before we close the episode.
Yeah, anything else?
Can we mention?
Yes.
Because this will play before, Nerd School will be live in effect
Yes.
on April 15th, judging Nerdy Night In.
Yes.
So if you have not gotten a spot, please go to blumenthal.org,
Yep.
blumenthalarts.org.
Yes.
And join us on April 15th for Nerdy
Absolutely.
Night In.
It's the Heroes Debate. Nerdy Night In Heroes Debate. The judges will be Art Star, the mighty Art Star, TBJ, and Professor Seer Andy. They're going to be the judges for the Heroes Debate. We got poets, we got nerds, and we got what's the other? Oh, comedians debating the merits of superheroes. So yeah,
it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, check it out. And it's free. It's online. It's streaming. Check it out. BlumenthalArts.org. Heroes Debate. We'll put it in the. I'll put a link to it in this episode.
Fantastic.
Cool. Yeah. So thanks for listening, everybody. Anybody else got anything else to say?
Baron we can call him Baron Zemo now that we know he's a Baron from Sokovia. I find it interesting that Sokovia apparently no longer exists. Because he got gobbled up by his neighbors. But that big furry coat of his is a throwback to the fact that both of the Zemos wore weird furry collars, and Helmut Zemo had weird furry shoulders to call back to his father's stuff. The whole Zemo lineage is a weird thing, and he was created as a baron in Germany, like Leipzig. He was born in Leipzig, Germany. But I like that. Somehow he's still rich as a baron, even though Sokovia no longer exists.
Oh, and also...
And has a staff. Can we talk about that he has a staff who's kind of been on hold while he's been away?
for many years at this point.
Right? Because he's like, his pilot's like, or his butler, whoever the guy is, he's like, this doesn't work anymore. But, like, the food is stale because you've been gone so long.
Yeah.
But he still has access to the plane.
Yeah, which is interesting, which suggests he's been able to pull some shit off from his prison cell, which would, if he's the power broker, then that's cool.
Oh, we think he's a power broker?
Could be.
He could be.
Do you guys like this actor as Baron Zemo?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the actor.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty low key, but this is like the most he's got to be like flamboyant. Like the three of them walking around Madripoor, like they're on the place.
And when they're in Madripoor, when he's talking about Sokovia and its neighbor, like the neighboring country to Sokovia is Latveria, which is, as we know, Dr. Doom territory.
No, you're thinking of Simcaria, which is another fictional country that neighbors Latveria.
Sokovia's. Hold on.
Someone break out the map. The two nerdiest of nerds are debating.
But then you know what? I know like Latveria is supposed to be tiny, and then Simcaria is right below it, and that's where the character Silver Sable is from. Oh, okay. And so they have like this weird relationship where Silver Sable has to have like. To appease Doom by hanging out with him a little bit. I think like that's a whole other storyline we don't need to go into. But
I want Dr. Doom. But let me say real quick that bit with Baron Zemo with his mask being a badass was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I'd like to see if they put any significance to that mask, because I liked it, but there's really no reason for him to put it on just to go shoot somebody and then take it right off again. Maybe that's what he needs to do bad things, is put that on. But
right, that's like his version. You know, Beyonce always says she puts on Sasha Fierce as her performance self. Maybe that's Zemo's performance self. Maybe he needs his mask.
Well, if he's a baron, he doesn't want to be seen. The royalty can't be seen killing everybody, right?
But he takes it right off, so it's
that's true. That's true.
He didn't really.
Yeah, I'm a little. I mean, they might have just needed that look for a little bit, but what'll be interesting to see is what happens, because both Helmut and Heinrich Zemo in the comics have somehow accidentally had their mask glued to their face for a long time, because they had created this thing called Adhesive X. It was like Heinrich Zemo, his father's big thing, was this crazy-ass glue thing that could not be broken down or dissolved by any method, and he was going to trap people in it because he was evil. And then, of course, it fell on him, and his mask got glued to his face, and he could never take it off, so I don't know how he ate or did anything. So
So we'll see how
I don't
they
know if they're gonna.
flush out. They've got to tell us. I feel like they're not going to not tell us.
Yeah,
the significance.
they're gonna invent some significance behind that mask, and I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It might just be a family tradition because Zemo's real big on the lineage and thinking. There's a whole storyline called Born Better where Zemo goes back in time and actually witnesses his lineage and realizes they weren't all that great shakes. So, I mean, there are storylines where Zemo is actually trying to be a good guy. Like he is, he was raised by a Nazi and was kind of indoctrinated into that. And when you first see him, he's always about trying to get revenge for his father's death. He was going up against Captain America, going up against the Avengers. But eventually he realizes he's been sort of indoctrinated by that and he needs to go a different way. But he's still kind of a megalomaniac. So, like, he's one of the guys who tries to take over the world in order to save it. He thinks, like, I'm the one who knows what's best.
I am the answer.
Yeah.
I will save you.
So he's
Okay.
interesting.
That's a lot of Baron Zemo, and I can't wait to hear a lot of what you guys said because I was freezing up through a lot of that. So that'll be good.
And we haven't even
Art's
talked about the
back.
Thunderbolts. We'll talk about the Thunderbolts next time.
Was there any Thunderbolts in this episode?
That's a whole other thing.
That's another.
Were there Thunderbolts in this episode?
Not that I've seen. I don't think we've seen any Thunderbolts yet, and then we might not even get them. But they could. Everything is kind of in place for that to be. That might be how he unveils the Masters of Evil. Is the Thunderbolts were secret heroes, like supervillains pretending to be heroes that took the place of the Avengers when the Avengers were gone. And I don't know if there are currently any operating Avengers. I don't really know what the thing is. Black Widow's gone. Steve Rogers gone. Iron Man's gone. The Guardians and Thor have fucked off to space.
Do you say fucked off to space?
Yeah. So I don't really know.
Are any of the other Wakandans, are any of them Avengers or just Black Panther?
Well, I mean, Okoye was working with Black Widow in Endgame when they were trying to sort of. It was like a connection.
I mean,
like a council. So like a council.
I mean, is there even an official is there an official thing like you're an Avenger, or is it kind of loose?
It's fairly
anybody
loose,
who helps
although
them is an
Iron
Avenger.
Man's like fake Knight Spider-Man in Infinity War and says you're an Avenger now.
Well,
Right.
in the cartoons, you actually get a card that basically works like Nick Fury's beeper contraption thing.
Yeah, you get an ID card that
Oh, so they can call you. They
Right.
can call you. I see.
here's an Avengers alert.
So it is kind of official. So Io, is it Io?
We'll go with AO.
Is she she's an Avenger then probably, right? Or not?
It's so Wakanda's different. So some of them, again, like the guys mentioned, will work with other members of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would readily unite or tie themselves as a
No, I don't even think T'Challa was.
Like the women of Wakanda are warriors, period, and they all have their mission.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't say she is an Avenger. I would say she is a warrior who is bound by something. Now that Zemo's out, she's here to avenge and get vengeance. For their prior king. But now, Wakandans are very proud individual people. Because even in the comics, there's some issue in Wakanda when T'Challa works with the Avengers. There's some animosity. I don't want to say animosity. There's friction.
Yeah.
There's friction there. So Wakandans aren't going to readily join the Avengers.
In fact, even in the comics, like T'Challa joined the Avengers back in the '60s, but in like the '90s, they revealed like the only reason he joined the Avengers was to spy on them and to determine whether or not they were a threat to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And that became kind of a big rift between the Avengers and T'Challa for a little while, just the lack of trust.
Really?
Yeah. So the short answer, Wakandans aren't readily joining the Avengers. They have been warriors for a very long time. They believe in their ancestors and their land. They don't need no damn Avengers.
Yeah, and I don't think Black Panther was even technically an Avenger in the movies. But like they'll work with them for the greater good, or
for the better good.
And they'll.
But they're not. They wouldn't readily join a team. They got their own team. It's called Wakanda. That's the team they play for. They're not trading.
And I think I've asked you guys this before, but with the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman, is there going to be I feel like I ask you guys this every week. Have they leaked anything about what plans are? Is there going to be a new actor playing him, or is it just...
No, they did leak that they are not going to replace him.
Gotcha.
They confirmed that he will not be replaced. That's what's been confirmed. We know that the script was pretty done, and Ryan had to go back and rewrite the script. So it'll be rewritten. If it follows some stuff in the comics, his sister takes the lead. However, the actress herself has said she is uncomfortable leading without him. So no one has said what really is about to happen. We don't know. Short answer, Joe. We don't know, but we do know from them they will not replace him with another actor.
Gotcha.
And we know that if you follow the comics, there is a way to carry on the storyline without him.
And that's
so you are saying the door is open for TBJ and Art Star to be the leads in the next Black Panther movie.
I mean, I'm here. Call me. Call me, Marvel. I'm trying to get up in there. Call me. I could be at the restaurant in the background just reacting to a battle scene. I don't care. Just put me in the Marvel universe, please. Let me Kat Dennings the Marvel universe.
There you
Let me
go.
Just show up and then be witty enough that they're like, you know what? Let's keep her around.
You just made Kat Dennings a verb. I love it. Kat Dennings is now a verb.
Yep.
That is a perfect spot. That is a perfect type of character for TBJ to be, a Kat Dennings type. All right, so that's all the time we got because TBJ's got to get to work, and Art Star has to.
We don't know
devise an evil plan.
Play some Animal Crossing.
That's a cover. We still don't know what Art Star does.
He's definitely an evil villain because he's not playing. He's not going to play.
I'm planning to take over the world, Pinky.
I wouldn't put it past you. So.
And I just got to mow the lawn.
I'll protect you guys, though.
Andy and I will go be normal, and Art will continue his villainy.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Send us cash.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Nerds roll.
Excelsior. Oh, my glasses are broken.
My pocket is protected.
Okay.
Rap about the president no more, but evidently they don't see we in the streets still poor. Still more incarceration of my kinsmen by the prisons, and people thinking this election to end in racism. Proud over pessimism, glad to see Obama, but don't expect me not to speak out when I still see problems.
The Nerd Skool Podcast.
Nerd Skool is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network, powered by Ortho Carolina. Now offering video visits so you can take control of your orthopedic care from the comfort of your home. Schedule online at orthocarolina.com. Ortho Carolina, you improved.
She's got a layer of barnacles around her soul about that.